Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to be decoding something that literally impacts every single one of us every single day. We're looking at the actual biological mechanics behind why we crave the exact same foods that ultimately just drain us. We hear the term junk food all the time, right? But today, we're going to look at the actual anatomy of this trap. We're breaking down the science of how products absolutely packed with sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats are actively manipulating our physical and mental health. So think about this scenario, because we all know it way too well. You hit that mid-afternoon slump, right? And you reach for a quick snack. Maybe it's a candy bar, a pastry, maybe a soda. You think of it as your little guilty pleasure. But what if I told you that innocent little snack is actually a carefully, scientifically engineered trap? You eat it to get a quick boost, but somehow you end up feeling even more exhausted and, ironically, hungry all over again. No way, right? Well, to understand exactly why this happens, we've got to look under the hood at what this food is actually doing to your body. Which brings us to part one, the energy roller coaster. Okay, let's dive into the first phase of this whole deception. When you eat simple carbohydrates, let's say a chocolate bar, your blood glucose levels spike super rapidly. Boom, you get this immediate surge of energy, your mood lifts, you feel great. But it is incredibly short-lived. Why? Because your pancreas detects this massive sugar spike and just floods your system with insulin, and that causes your glucose to drop sharply. You don't just gently return to normal, you crash, hard, leaving you feeling totally sluggish and literally demanding more fuel. It's a literal biological roller coaster that actively exhausts your body. Let's move on to part two, the junk food addiction. Now, you might be wondering, if this food exhausts the body so completely, why on earth do we keep going back to it over and over and over again? Well, the answer lies in dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter in your brain that's responsible for feelings of pleasure and reward. And junk food is genuinely addictive because that specific artificial combination of high sugar, high fat, and high salt triggers a massive release of this pleasure chemical. Your brain essentially logs this incredibly quick, easy way to get a hit of pleasure, and it just starts demanding it repeatedly. Let's put that into perspective by comparing it to the real world. Natural foods, they rarely contain high sugar, fat, and salt all bundled together in one package. It's just simply not how nature designed our food. But junk food, it's an artificial combination crafted specifically to hijack your brain. And here's the truly terrifying part. Over time, as your brain is constantly flooded with this massive dopamine release, your receptor sensitivity actually decreases. Which means to get that exact same dopamine hit, you are literally forced to consume even more unhealthy food. You get biologically locked into this vicious cycle that is just incredibly difficult to break. Let's uncover more in part three, unmasking hidden sugars. Okay, but here's the real plot twist. You might be sitting there thinking, well, hey, I don't eat candy bars, so I'm safe. Yeah, think again. Sugar, the sweet enemy. This phrase perfectly captures why sugar is absolutely one of the primary culprits behind the obesity epidemic and a whole host of related health issues. The fundamental problem isn't just that sugar is bad for us. The real problem is that it's used almost everywhere. Just take a look at this breakdown. On one side, we have the obvious sugars. Candies, cakes, soda. We all know these are treats, right? But on the other side, we have the hidden sugars. Ketchup, mayonnaise, soy sauce, bread, baked goods, processed meats and sausages, breakfast cereals, and flavored yogurts. And oh, here is a brilliant piece of irony for you, low-fat products. Manufacturers literally pump sugar into low-fat products just to improve the flavor that vanished when they took the fat out. You totally think you're making a healthy choice, but you're actually walking right into a massive sugar trap. So the crucial takeaway here, and this is super important, is that you can significantly exceed your daily sugar limit without eating a single spoonful of sweets. Just by consuming everyday, seemingly normal processed foods, you are participating in that energy roller coaster and that dopamine addiction cycle completely by accident. Which brings us right into part four, the fast food trap. Now we arrive at the ultimate, most concentrated form of this unhealthy eating cycle. Chain restaurant fast food. We're talking your standard burgers, French fries, nuggets, and pizza. Let's rapid fire through the four major biological harms happening every single time you eat a meal like this. First off, it's mostly deep fried, which adds massive calories and forms trans fats that heavily increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. Second, it's incredibly high in salt. Excess sodium causes water retention, elevates your blood pressure, and puts a huge strain on your kidneys. Third, it is remarkably low in fiber, and fiber is what gives you that feeling of fullness, right? So without it, your hunger returns almost immediately. and fourth. The whole shebang just has incredibly poor nutritional value overall. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the most fascinating and terrifying paradoxes of unhealthy food: empty calories. Just think about this concept for a second. You are consuming massive amounts of calories, which of course leads to weight gain. But because those calories totally lack essential vitamins, minerals, and micronutrients, your body actually remains starved on a cellular level. You are overfed, yet biologically starving. That is exactly why your body keeps crying out for more food, even after you just ate a massive meal. So let's summarize where this all leads. The long-term risks of staying caught in this trap are, quite frankly, severe. We're talking about significant weight gain, a highly elevated risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and really dangerous heart conditions. But remember, it's not just physical. The regular consumption of these foods, with all their sugar crashes and empty calories, has a proven negative impact on your mood and your cognitive function. It drains your brain just as much as it drains your body. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely vital question to ask ourselves the next time we reach for a quick processed snack or pull into a drive-thru. Are you actually feeding your body the micronutrients it needs to thrive, or are you just feeding a carefully engineered biological addiction? It's a choice we make every single day. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gives you the tools you need to decode the food on your own plate.